Okay, so it's probably not something you thought you could do at home, but if you want to go the extra mile, they say the quickest heart to your sweetheart's heart is with chocolate. And it can be a really special way to start a Valentine's Day. Christopher, this is something you can do at home.
I really think so, and I think it's really unique for the guys out there that want to do something special for their wife on Valentine's Day, or just any time of the year that you want to, your ladies are having a tea, or you want to do something extra special for guests that are coming over. We're going to do chocolate truffles. Now, in a store, in a nice store, you pay $3, $4 each for the things that I'm going to show you today. It's very, very simple. Now, I've got some chocolate that we buy here for the restaurant. It's really big. If you're buying chocolate in the grocery store, you're going to find those little bars or whatever. A serrated knife works great. You just want to rock that serrated knife back and forth. What you want to do is get these chocolate chunks in small pieces and all about the same size so that they melt evenly. It's important that chocolate melts evenly. You can't have big chunks and you can't have some really big chunks and then some really tiny chunks, because by the time the small chunks are melted, they may overcook, or they might even burn by the time the big chunks melt. What we're making right now is the filling for the chocolate truffle. It's very simply butter, cream, and chocolate, and some sort of flavoring. All right, we're going to start this this truffle mixture here. I've got a ½ cup of cream. I'm going to bring that almost to the boiling point. So this is a very small amount of stuff. We normally make this in larger batches. I'm going to bring this almost to the boil, not quite. Once that gets warm, I'm going to go ahead and add your chocolate chips that you've cut up. And once that starts to melt pretty good, just pull it away from the flame, because you don't want to burn that chocolate. That chocolate melts right on the bottom. So I'm just going to pull it off the heat a little bit here and just keep stirring, melt all that chocolate in there. All right, that's nice and melted. Now, while this is still warm, we're going to add some of our cold butter here. Well, it's not cold, it's actually room temperature. Little cubes. We're just going to melt that butter into it. That gives the chocolate not only a great flavor, it thins it. Once it melts, it thins it to the right consistency so that we have good pieces of chocolate to scoop out and roll with our hands. And it also adds flavor, of course. Now I'm going to add a little bit of flavoring. I've got a little orange liqueur here that's great. You could use Grand Marnier for an orange flavored liqueur, adding about a teaspoon of that. I did some earlier with a little Bailey's, which I think is best probably for white chocolate, because dark chocolate is a little bit strong. But you could use Kahlua, you could use brandy, a lot of different flavorings there. Or if you didn't want any alcohol, you could just use vanilla. So I'm just going to stir that in. Now we're going to let this cool. So I'm just going to add this to our just a little pan or something that you can scoop out of later. And I'll bring that to the refrigerator and let that get chilled until it's firm. So we've taken this out of our refrigerator. I've checked to make sure it's firm enough. And I have a little ice cream scoop here, but you could also use a tablespoon or a teaspoon. We're just going to make little balls out of this. Now, if it gets too sticky, you can use a little hot water or something. But right now, I'm just going to make these little balls here. I'm just going to show you how to do a couple here. Now I have these little mounds of chocolate here. Now in order to roll these, you want to make these into a nice ball. Just put some powdered sugar on your hands, just like that. And you can just pick these up and just roll them without them melting in your hands. You see? Now at this stage, you could have, cut one of these balls in half, put in a fresh raspberry, you could put in a walnut, you could put in a cherry that had been soaked in brandy. Just anything would be really nice in there. I like them just plain. Now I've flavored these chocolates. This one has an orange liqueur. I have some with Bailey's also. So any flavoring that you want is good. Also, if you didn't want alcohol, you could probably find orange water, orange flower water, rose water, and just about a teaspoon of that flavoring. Okay, now that you have your little chocolate balls, flavored chocolate balls or filled chocolate balls, they're ready to be dipped in the outer coating. Now what I have here is just some of that same chocolate that you saw, just melted over a double boiler. That's it. This is called tempered chocolate. It's melted and it's warm still, okay? It's warm. So I'm just going to take one of these little chocolate balls, roll it in there. Now I'm using a little truffle fork here, but you could use a spoon or a fork itself. And then I'm going to place that onto a rack, just like that. So you see we're just rolling it around in there. Now you could roll it around in white chocolate. I've got some here that are done in white chocolate. You can make the fillings out of white chocolate and roll them in dark chocolate, however you want to do it. Okay, so So see, this is very, very easy. Now this is just the first coat, the outer coat. You could, I could put one layer of chocolate, let these cool, and then dip them in white chocolate. Now once the chocolate drips off of them, you can just, you can basically take them off the rack so they don't stick too hard there. Now these have set a little bit, these dark chocolate ones. I'm just gonna roll those in a second layer. And then now you can put those in some sort of a coating. I can do some in pistachio. I have some pistachio coating here. Just do like that. Okay. You can do them in, just grab another one here. You can do some in cocoa powder. Those work great in cocoa powder, just like this. You could do some in almonds. Got some crushed almonds here. Just kind of press those on a little bit. I've melted a little white chocolate here also, and if you wanted to, you could do a little white chocolate drizzle across there, just like this. Just grabbing a tablespoon, let that white chocolate start, and just cross them just like that. That would be great. Also with this tempered chocolate, if you got some strawberries laying around, you might as well go ahead and dip these strawberries in a little bit of chocolate. You could drizzle those with white chocolate if you wanted to, or nuts, or however you want to do it. So here you go, Mike. We just got just a selection of different things. Like I said, you could fill them with anything: candied walnuts, raspberries, brandy-soaked cherries, anything like that. We've done a few chocolate-covered strawberries for you here also. So anything like that would be great. A
creative way maybe to spruce up your Valentine's celebration a bit. If you'd like to get this recipe or any others that you hear on Christopher's Kitchen, all you have to do is go to kbtx.com, click on the food page, and you'll find all the recipes right there for you. We'll see you next time for the next edition of Christopher's Kitchen. For Christopher Lampo, I'm Mike Wright.